Hi guys, I was asked to send you a quick video about health and fitness or nutrition, about nutrition. I love health and fitness because taking care of my body has made such a huge difference for me. I found that eating healthy foods just helps me function better, helps me feel good, and also helps me feel better mentally too. It doesn't just affect our bodies or how we look, it affects how our bodies function, but also how we function mentally. So, health and fitness is a huge passion of mine, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about that today. So, taking care of our bodies is really important. We are only given one body. Our body is a gift, and we're given one body, and it's our job to take care of it. And two really important ways that we can take care of our body is by eating right and exercising. So, I'm mostly going to talk about eating right and nutrition with you guys. We can actually prevent a lot of preventable diseases by eating right and exercising. And did you know that 70% of Americans die from preventable diseases? That's from heart attacks, just obesity related diseases, type 2 diabetes, things like that. 70% of Americans die from those things, and they are preventable with what we eat, with our nutrition. So we can learn to eat better and take care of our bodies better to help prevent these diseases. And that is such a huge important thing. We should want to be able to have healthier lives and have our bodies function properly. And so we can live longer and healthier and feel better and do all the things that we want to do. So in America, it's actually not the norm to eat whole, real foods, right? It's mostly, we're all about the processed food, the fast, convenient food. And people used to cook a lot more at home, but now that we have all these conveniences, we're just eating a lot more processed and fast food and things that aren't doing anything good for our bodies. So go against the norm. It's okay to be different because we don't want to be a part of that 70% that are dying from preventable diseases. And we want to be able to do the things we enjoy and have our bodies function and play sports and run and do whatever you want to do. So what do we eat? The best things to eat are whole, real foods, foods that grow on the earth, foods that don't have an ingredient list, foods that don't come in a box with a bunch of ingredients listed. Those are whole, real, nutrient-dense foods. Those give us vitamins and minerals and fiber and all the nutrients that our bodies need to function. That's why they were put on the earth for us, for our use. So meats, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, healthy oils, things like that were put on the earth, they are so good for us. There are some packaged foods that are great, but if you see the ingredient list on a package, on a food package, if it has especially more than 5 ingredients on that package, I would just find something else because it's going to have a lot of chemicals, hydrogenated oils, probably a lot of sugar. And if you look at the ingredient list on any packaged food, the very first ingredient is the ingredient that is the most prevalent in that food. So if you look at a lot of packaged foods, sugar is number one or within the first 3 ingredients. And that means there's a lot of sugar in that. A lot of high fructose corn syrup is another thing that's in a lot of packaged foods. Hydrogenated oils, those are just going to clog our arteries and do some damage to our body. So I know there's a lot of good packaged foods that are yummy, but just try and eat more whole, real, nutrient-dense foods more than you eat the packaged foods. Sugar is also hidden a lot by other names in packaged foods. So high fructose corn syrup, which I mentioned, is just sugar. Also, anything ending with OSE, O-S-E. If you read that on an ingredients list, you know it's sugar. So look out for all the hidden sugars in your packaged foods. So what is the problem with all this sugar and chemicals and hydrogenated oils? Well, it disrupts how our body functions. It disrupts our hormones and causes our body to not function the way it was meant to function. Foods like that cause us to overeat as well because they don't have the fiber and protein that help keep us full. Food companies know how to keep us buying these foods, and they make them more addictive with the sugar and the chemicals and the flour and everything else, all the additives that they add in them. They want us to keep buying them because it makes them money, right? So they make them addictive on purpose. But the problem with these foods is it's causing us to overeat on them, eat too much of them, and it's disrupting how our body normally should function. And it's leading to death in America, which is a serious thing. Not only does it cause our blood glucose, our blood sugar response to go super high when we eat these foods, especially with a lot of sugar and carbs, it'll cause our blood sugar to go really high. And then our body normally produces insulin to help get that blood sugar down. If we're overeating on these foods or eating too much of these types of foods, then our body produces way too much insulin. And then we become insulin resistant. And then our body doesn't respond to the insulin like it's supposed to. And our body, our hormones are just off. Our body isn't functioning the way it's supposed to. It disrupts all our hormonal responses. It disrupts how our insulin response is. And also, all these unhealthy oils cause inflammation in our body, which inflammation also leads to diseases. So it just disrupts everything and the way our body is supposed to function. So that's why eating more whole, real, those foods that grow on the earth, the fruits and the vegetables and the meat and the nuts and the seeds and the healthy oils and olives and avocado. There's so many good whole real foods that really, really, truly help our body function better. Food is super important for our bodies. That's why we have food, is because food gives us calories and calories give us energy for our bodies to work and run and have energy to do all the things we want to do. Now, when we're overeating on these foods and creating that insulin response, all that extra stuff we eat and the extra insulin that our body produces, that is just stored as body fat. So that's what happens when people overeat, especially all these processed foods. It's easy to overeat because it doesn't help us feel full. It doesn't help us feel satisfied because our body's not getting the nutrients that it needs. And it's like, wait, I'm not getting what I need. So give me more, give me more. And so it's just, we're overeating on those foods, but overeating on the foods that create our blood sugar to go really high as well. So then all that is stored as body fat. So the goal is to just stop eating when we feel satisfied and try not to overeat on all those processed foods and try not to eat as much processed foods. Try to switch it out and have whole real foods, fruits and veggies, or eggs and chicken and good nuts, and there's lots of whole real foods. Try and snack on healthier options and eat less of the processed options, and your body will truly be so much happier. So just make smarter choices. There's good, better, and best. So think of a car that runs on gas, right? We have to give our car gas to be able to run properly. We have to give our body fuel to be able to run properly. And if we're giving our car oil instead of gas, it's gonna stop working, right? If we give our body all these processed foods instead of real whole food, it's just not gonna run as properly as it should. So when you're eating whole, real foods, your body's going to feel fuller longer because you're getting some protein and fiber and all these nutrients and vitamins. Your body's going to be more satisfied. You're going to feel fuller. You're not getting as many calories in these nutrient-packed foods as you are in processed foods. So you're not getting excess calories that our body doesn't need and stores as fat. We're getting just the right amount of calories that we need when we're eating more nutrient-dense whole foods. So you've probably heard of macronutrients. Macros are what our bodies need every day. We need protein, carbs, carbohydrates, and fats. Those are the 3 macronutrients. The micronutrients are all the vitamins and minerals that we get from our food. So protein is going to help us build muscle and sustain muscle, but also help repair muscle. When we're exercising, our muscles are damaged, and protein and rest helps them repair. Carbohydrates are our body's main source of energy. So carbohydrates are really important. Carbohydrates are from fruits and vegetables and grains. Proteins are from meats and eggs and some dairy, and a lot of foods have like protein and carbs. Some have just pure protein or pure carbs. Some have protein and fat. So a lot of foods are kind of mixed macros, but there's big sources of just protein, carbs, and fat, if that makes sense, hopefully. So carbs give us lots of energy. Fats can also produce long-term energy, but they also are so good for our brain and so good for our hormones. So fats are the nuts and the seeds and, like peanut butter, but try and choose the kind that doesn't have all the sugar in it. Healthy oils like olive oil and um, avocados and olives, those are also healthy fats. Cheese is also a good source of fat and a good source of protein. So the perimeter of the grocery store, if you walk in, all along the walls is usually the healthier whole foods. You'll find the dairy, you'll find the meat, you'll find the produce, the fruits and the vegetables, right? So the perimeter of the grocery store is where you should get most of your foods when you're shopping. And then there's some stuff in the aisles that are healthy, like the healthy oils and things like that. But most of the stuff inside the aisles is the processed food with all the sugar, the flour, the oils, the chemicals, the additives. All the processed stuff is mostly in the aisles. Cooking more at home can help you avoid all these excess chemicals and additives and lots of sugar. So doing more of your cooking at home instead of doing what's convenient all the time. I know it's hard to because our lives are busy. But if you can do more cooking at home and less fast food runs and less of the processed stuff that is really quick, you're going to save yourself on a lot of sugar, a lot of additives and chemicals and things like that. And you'll be much more healthier when you do more cooking at home. So an easy way that I like to explain to people of how to make healthier choices is by thinking of a traffic light, right? A traffic light is used to keep us safe on the roads when we drive, right? Green means go, yellow means caution, red means stop. So these things can also help keep us safer in our food choices. They can help us think every day of better choices. So green light foods mean grow or go foods. These are your fruits and veggies. And there's some other foods that can be considered green light foods too. But your fruits and veggies, go, go, go. You can eat as many of those as you want. And you know what? They're really hard to overeat on because they have a lot of fiber and nutrients and things that help keep you full. So eat as many fruits and vegetables as you want. It's going to give you so many nutrients, going to give you great carbohydrates for your energy. And those are green light foods. Yellow light foods just means caution or slow down. You can overeat on these foods, so just slow down, don't eat too much. This is your rice, your pasta, your grains, things like that are healthy for you. They give you good nutrients and whole grains and things, but you can just definitely overeat on them, and you just want to stop when you're full. You just want to be cautious and not overeat them. So those are the yellow light foods. Green and yellow light foods are great to eat every day. They're going to be great protein, great carbohydrates, great for your energy and for your body to function. But what do you think are the red light foods? Red light foods are the cakes, the cookies, the sugar, the candy, the chips, the soda. All those things are considered red light foods because you need to stop. Stop before you eat it. Stop and think, hey, is there a better choice that I could be making? Is there a better choice that's going to give my body better energy? Sure, the sugar is going to give you quick energy, but then you're going to crash and you might get a stomach ache if you eat too much or if you eat a little, or it's just not going to help your body function the way it should. And I promise when you start eliminating a lot of the sugar or just not eating as much, your body's going to start feeling so good. So it's okay to eat those things once in a while. Just try not to eat them every day if possible. And try and eat more of the green and yellow light foods more often than you do the red light foods. Try and think of better snacks that can get you those green light foods, the fruits and the veggies, and try and eat more fruits and veggies if you don't eat very many. See how many fruits and veggies you can get in during the week and get your body those nutrients that it needs. So the red light foods just mean have them once in a while. On a special occasion or whatever, but just try and stop and think, can I make a better choice? Also, try and drink lots of water. Your body needs water every day. Drink when you're thirsty. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Just drink when you're thirsty and eat when you're hungry. Sometimes hunger is messed up with thirst. Sometimes you're just thirsty, but really try and listen to your body cues and just stop when you're full, make better choices, drink when you're thirsty, and just really start being conscious of the choices you're making and try and cook more at home and make better snacks and get in those fruits and veggies and the green and yellow light foods every single day. Your body's going to start functioning better. You're going to have better energy and your brain will be more clear and your mood will be better. Another really quick thing that I'll touch on real quick is exercise, because exercise is also super important. We want to move our bodies and get in the habit of moving our bodies. But exercise doesn't have to be something that you hate. Do something that you enjoy. If you like playing sports, like I know a lot of you do, play softball or run track or jump rope or basketball. It doesn't have to be a sport. You can jump rope, you can dance, you can walk, you can climb, you can do whatever, play kickball, you can anything, walk your dog, any sort of movement is really good, but do movement that makes you happy. That's really important, and that's how you're going to make it a habit. Keeping our body healthy isn't all about the way we look. We want to help our body feel good on the inside. And we want to help us feel happier and better and function and be able to do all the things we want to do for as long as we possibly can in our life, even when we're super old. So I know if you do these things and start trying to make better habits every day, that you will feel so good, you'll feel healthier, you'll live longer, and you'll be able to be happy and healthy for the rest of your life.